Welcome, everybody, to my first live here on YouTube. Hope everybody's doing well. I appreciate everybody joining. So I've got a couple of special guests, a couple of things I'm going to talk about today, and well, I think we're going to have a lot of fun. So I'm going to bring these guys in. What's up, guys?
What's up, man?
Oh man, what a fun time, huh?
Yeah, I'm so used to hearing your voice, but all I can see is cards.
Yeah.
Now I can see your face. I love it.
There we go. I know everybody was. I was on a whatnot the other day, and they're like, "We get to see your face." I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely."
You're the man behind the curtain.
Yeah, exactly. Here's the face. You guys know the voice. So awesome. Well, hey, thanks for joining everybody. Looks like everybody's here. I know everybody is interested in the giveaway, right? That's the big thing.
It's a big deal, man. That's a crazy giveaway. Cool. Very cool.
Precious metal gems, yeah.
I love the display behind you and everything, man. It looks so good.
Yeah.
Oh, you like all that stuff?
Yeah, dude. It looks awesome.
Thank you.
I like them better if they're sealed to be open, not already open. But if I know cards and metal, I know they're already open.
Yeah, I've got an issue with that.
There's a separate room with all the sealed stuff.
Yep. Yeah, it's hidden back there somewhere.
All right, let me do this for those who are watching on the Spidey Hiss channel. This is you already know Fausto. Yeah, everybody knows Sketch Card High. This is my friend Ian Fisher. You know him as Cards and Metal, and he has launched his YouTube channel. That's big, but there's even going to be bigger announcements, and he's got a giveaway to do. So,
yep, big giveaway. It's going to be a lot of fun, and kind of just explanation of why I'm doing everything. So it's going to be fun. We got a lot of people here. Looks like we got people showing up. We got a good friend. What's up, Dart? There was waiting music. That's a great one.
It's got a nice chill music in the background.
I like it, man.
Get a massage.
Yeah, you like that? I figured it'd be better than hearing my kids scream in the background. So,
Lewis, what's up, dude?
What's up, Lewis? What's going on, guys? We got Gray in the house.
What's up, Gray?
What's going on, Gray? What do we got? Who we got here? Chris. What's up? Leto, what's going on,
That's
guys?
my boy Leto. More about him later.
Cool. RMS, what's up? Happy holidays. Hope everybody's having a great time. Man, I started my holidays. I can't even tell you guys. I spent the last night in the ER.
What?
Yeah.
I look all the things my brain was predicting you were about to say, like you went on a ski trip, already got some Christmas presents. No, ER. That's not what I was expecting you to say.
Broken leg, man. My little boy broke his leg.
Oh, man.
So it's been a great time.
That's awful. I hope he recovers very quickly, better than he started. Yeah. And somebody just popped in the chat that like really makes this full circle for tonight. Frank Ruiz.
Oh, okay.
The original guy who pulled the gold 1-of-1 Spider-Man PMG.
Hey. Oh, where's he at? Who's he at? Oh, Frank right here.
I can't pop him up. You have to do it. Frank Ruiz. He says, "Merry Christmas, guys," in the comments. There he is.
Nice.
And, it was likely the video that we might talk later that led him to the Spidey Hiss channel.
Yeah, that's what I think we're gonna talk a lot about that. Yeah.
Yep.
So as a lot of you guys know already, I'm starting off the consignments thing, which I think it's something that Marvel Cards needs. And I'll explain to you why really as we kind of go through this. And really, the reason that I have these two gentlemen on here is they play an important role in all this.
That was a long time ago, man. That is some crazy stuff to start remembering. This is pretty awesome.
It's definitely a long time in Marvel card years.
In Marvel card.
I like that.
In Marvel card years, that was like 25 years ago.
It feels like it, right?
Yeah. Feels like it.
We've all come a long way since then.
Oh yeah, because I was just a wee babe in the Marvel card hobby, and now I'm a full-grown man, kind of.
I think everybody was, though. You know what I mean? I don't think
come on.
No, I don't. No, honestly, I don't think the YouTube thing was really going. The podcast is out there, but I don't think YouTube had really kind of taken off for a lot of Marvel card collectors. People were doing it. People were, getting into it and been around, but it wasn't really starting to become what it became now. You know what I mean? We have a lot of great streamers out there. We got Spidey, you got Lewis, you got Ian, you got so many great people out there who are doing
It's
such
a
really
long
great.
list. I mean,
It's a long list than just those 3 people.
and it's names that we don't even know. I was scrolling through YouTube today, and I'm like, I've never seen that name. That's awesome. They're posting a video of opening a box, and it's I love it because the hobby really needs it and has needed it. It doesn't need 1, 2, 6, 8. It needs a well diverse amount of people making content their way with their cards, because there's someone else like them out there that's going to want to enjoy it. If it's only a few of us, we're not going to be well represented, and the hobby's going to stay small.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a big thing, is having that diversity. Everybody's got they like, what they don't like, and can all share things. It's pretty cool. I like it.
Somebody likes cards of wood, cards of cardboard, and some people cards of metal.
Oh, dude.
Some
All right,
people
we
only
got
like
our
silver
here.
cards. You know, it's
I'll point
Some
out
people are huge fans of silver, not to get confused with ice cards, silver cards.
Yeah.
Those are my things.
there is a difference.
There is a difference.
Yeah. So the reason I'm here is because I'm just kind of getting into the technology, especially back then, and I was trying to promote some cards I was selling.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, what's Instagram? Everybody should check out Instagram. You should promote those on there. And I'm not going to go into detail of names of companies or anything. We should stay away from that, obviously.
Back in your DMs again.
Yeah,
Why not?
exactly. We don't want that. But I felt like I was selling some cards. I wasn't properly being marketed, because I am a marketer. I have been for my entire adult life. Literally out of high school, I got into marketing and sales. Right. So I was like, man, okay, it's time to take it into my own hands, and let's go out there and let's start getting people to see this stuff. And lo and behold, who do I find? These 2 guys right here.
Where'd you find us?
I was like,
We did this weird thing where we went live on Instagram and YouTube that night. I still to this day,
Really?
I'm like, how did we pull that off?
We pulled it off. I never figured it out again, but we managed to do it. Linked it up and everything, and that was a crazy time. So people might not know this, because Ian's very shy and he's very humble, but Ian's an OG, and he's been an OG for a long time now, and very quiet, very smart. I mean, just a very smart buyer,
And not just the eBay
and a major
lurker,
collector.
not just the eBay lurker OG.
No.
This guy was on Breaker TV, right?
Yeah.
Opening up boxes. This is
yeah.
Whatnot is not a thing he decided to try out. Like this guy.
No, that was a long time after starting all this.
Long time.
Yeah.
And,
So yeah, I was. So to kind of give you a background on where I started, and I alluded to this many times. I can't remember where. I mean, I'm on Whatnot and wherever. But I mentioned that 94 Fleer Ultra X-Men is a very important part of my collection. Oh yeah, I mean, I think most of us collected that year. Love seeing those silver foils, the crossovers, hunting down Walmart if you can find one.
The Wolverine Versus set. Great.
Yeah.
So good.
You got Julie Bell art in there. Incredible stuff. The
Wow.
Magneto, still maybe tops Magneto trading card.
Yeah, love it. Love those cards.
Mhm.
And I'm thinking 2011, 2012-ish is when I really got back into it. All right, so I was cleaning out my cards. I've had them stacked there. I've had my binders, and I'm like, these things are taking up a lot of space, because I have a lot of boxes just sitting there. Man, I got duplicates, right? So I started going through all my old sets, and I'm missing a few cards here and there. I'm like, oh, well, these things, I'm not going to be able to sell these for more than like $20-$30. It's going to cost me $20-$30 just to ship them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to keep them, right? So I started hitting eBay, and I'm thinking, man, I got a feel on these sets. Let me find some cards. So as you know, we're in Fleer Ultra X-Men 94. And I start searching through all these things, and I'm seeing these cards that are selling for $5-$6. Fleer Ultra X-Men cards.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, wait a minute, I don't have these cards. These cards aren't on the checklist. What are these things? 2013 Fleer Ultra X-Men just came out.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And this is a retro for people who may not realize this. It was a 2013 set. Upper Deck had not long before then acquired the license, and they decided, hey, we're going to honor the OG sets from the 90s, and we're going to do a retro set, this whole release, right? And it retroed a number of the 90MU, the Fleer Ultras, and the metals, which, Ian, I'll let you get to that.
What's that?
And then they retroed the metals.
Oh, yeah. The metals. Yeah, that's everything, right? The metals, the logos, all that good stuff. Yeah. So it's good stuff. So yeah, that's I was like, what are these things? And so I started looking more into it. And it's this retro set. Yeah, and it's just, and I think that's something that I'm going to talk about too as I kind of grow this channel. Is I'll start doing different. I'll do like a set, right? Maybe one live or one video, just really talking about what they are and the cards, going into detail. I know there's probably people have done this, but I was there ripping them, so I feel like
I think it's better. It's always better to have someone who is there opening packs, because I don't think people, especially with how expensive the box is now and how difficult it is to find, people don't understand. Like, I remember, like, especially doing the Surfer collection, I would hit up people like you, Collection Kings, like tons of different people, Fuller, like a bunch of different people who opened just a lot of product, and having someone on the ground floor be like, yeah, that insert, people are looking at that insert, but man, those were not easily coming out of boxes. You know what I mean? There were a lot of people that knew really how rare certain inserts were, especially retro. You know what I mean? Where they really had an idea of how hard it was to hit certain cards and stuff. And there's not a lot of that knowledge on YouTube. You know what I mean? I think that's important that people kind of get out there.
And even if it is, it's a lot of it's regurgitated and then misspoken.
Telephone kind of game kind of thing.
Yeah, the telephone game. I mean, to the Spidey Hits viewers, like, if you follow the channel, how many boxes I've opened, and 0 is how many of 2013 retro that I've opened.
I know I've had this funny thing. This is my last one I saved.
Wow.
I when I moved about 7 years ago, I literally have a closet filled with them, just lying. I'm like, these are cool. I'm going to keep them. So and I'm like, God, these aren't going to be worth anything someday. I just threw them away.
I have one, and it was a gift. Like, and it was given to me as a gift, but the condition was I had to fly out to LA to even ever have the opportunity to get it.
Yeah. It's so insane.
Such a nice guy too.
Yeah.
That's very cool. That's so cool.
It's something where, so I'll definitely talk more about those things as we kind of, progress the channel here and kind of get into detail of that. But yeah, that got me onto PMGs because it was the retro set. That's the first year they had them. And because I was doing comps, right? I started like doing, I'm doing everything, I'm selling cards. So backtrack a little bit. I was opening a ton of 92 X-Men Impel.
Okay.
Chasing
autos?
Chasing autos, yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about, they were $30 a box, 25 sometimes.
Yeah.
And I flooded through those things. I can't even tell you how many of those boxes I've ripped open. It was just stupid. I never hit one.
Oh.
They're stupid, impossible to hit. They're crazy.
So I would package up everything I'd have. I'd wrap up the sets and sell the sets on eBay. So I was doing a lot of comps, and I start seeing these PMGs. I started doing a lot of research into them. I'm like, what are these things? Why are they, Marvel cards are like maybe $10-15 at the absolute most, like good inserts. Mm-hmm. And these things were selling for hundreds. And back then, $200 box, that's how much a retro box was, about $215. I'm like, that's a lot of money. Everybody's like, I wish.
Hearing it now just like warms the heart. But back then it was like break the bank,
Yeah. It really was. People looked at that and they were kind of like, that's ridiculous. I'll never pay for that. Because it was such a, like, it was so different from anything else. Like, no one had priced Marvel cards at that level. But when you look at a retro box, I don't think people realize, like, people talk about the PMGs and get really excited, but there was such a variety of things to hit. And it's like one of the best boxes to open because you just got so much, so many different types of homages to so many different types of Marvel cards. I mean, it's just a great set for that reason. It's a love letter to Marvel. As many sports insert cards are in there, like TI-22s, Quicksilvers, all that stuff. It really is a love letter to Marvel cards. I consider it more of a love letter to Marvel cards than just sport replicated inserts.
Well, it definitely is a love letter to the 90s, which to a Marvel card collector is a big deal.
It's the gold, right? That's the heart of Marvel, is the 90s cards.
And many of us had both as a kid, sports and Marvel, but to your point, I love that. Like it's a love letter, right? To Marvel card collectors.
Yeah, they have the 90, 91, 92 impels, right? They've got even the retro 15s had the 92 X-Men, which was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we got the 95 medals, which were
Power Blast,
Power Blast, you name it. Yeah, it's just such a great set. And then to kind of blend that, I don't know if they were intentionally trying to attract the sports market, what they were trying to do there, but it got me to start looking into the sports market. I started looking into where did these PMGs come from.
Yeah. Right? Well, metal belonged to Marvel. 95 metal is the inaugural. You're like, hey, let's see if this new technology works. And then they foiled the crap out of it in 96, 97 for NBA basketball. And it just, it's the Holy Grails now. And so I do think it was a way of like saying, hey, that thing you love, 95 metal, we're gonna add something to it that's pretty special. I would be shocked to think that it was simply to pull in sports collectors. I know we know Upper Deck thinks like that now because they talk about adding equity in boxes.
Yeah.
I do think it was just a way of leveling up something that we already really enjoyed.
Plus, it was their flagship inserts, right? They had the technology to build those things. It wasn't so much just for sports. It was like, well, we're printing this stuff anyway. Might as well utilize it with these characters and do these things for the first time. I think that was also a big part of it for them as well, to kind of like just utilize the technology that they were using at the time, which is, when you think about the things that, you can't, it's really hard. I don't know. It took me a long time to find the 2013 green for me. And a lot of people who are here and who are in this chat here know that journey.
I remember your first video about it.
And how miserable that journey was. Because the green just took me forever. But
you were still kind of mad you had it.
I still am. I'm like, I can't believe I paid that.
You're like mad, like it took that long. It was that hard.
It was that long. It was that upsetting. But what was really great about it, and what people don't really realize, is that it's kind of like the holograms from the 90s. When you look at the inserts from 2013, and this is not a pump for 2013, it's just talking about what 2013 did for a lot of collectors and why the price was so high at the time. And people were just like, no, this is too much, blah, blah. And Ian, I think you were one of the 2 or 3 people I know that stockpiled and went at that set. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, like, who else I'm talking about, like the other 2 people, but you know what I mean? Like, you were really like one of the 3 that just were like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and look at this set a lot closer. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
It's such an amazing set. And it started a lot of stuff. I knew, looking at the Michael Jordans, what they were worth then, because they had, because you're right about them kind of copying sports. They already had that technology because they have at least 2 years of retro basketball and football before. So 11 and 12 and 12 and 13, I believe. So, but you look at the Michael Jordans, the first green PMGs of that. I remember somebody, I was doing breaks back then, right? I was, like you said, on breaks.tv is where I was at. There was, just real small, tight-knit group that we were doing breaks with. And we heard through the grapevine that somebody bought one of those 97 basketballs and hit a green Michael Jordan. And that thing was beat. I'm telling you, like, you think that PMGs are beat now. This thing was, the foil just was horrible. I couldn't have got more than a 4.
And that was true in 96, 97 too. Like, you get a PSA 6, you got something. Right?
Yeah.
Well, the guy ended up turning around and flipping on eBay. He sold it in a week, and sold for $86,000, I believe.
Wow.
Back then,
I really wasn't expecting you to say that number, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Crazy stuff.
That's insane.
I saw that, and I'm like, all right, that's what I'm doing. I'm it's time. We know that these are good cards.
Smart.
So
fast forward from 2013 to 2021.
Yeah.
Fausto is he and I are getting to know each other really well, and he's pouring himself into me, like, in terms of like educating me about this the space of time that I didn't really understand, which was 97 to 2020 of Marvel cards at the time. And, he's telling me about these precious metal gems, PMGs, precious metal gems. And at that point in time, I think the most I'd ever spent on a collectible was like $450 for a comic book, which felt really painful. And and I'm having to decide, like, I want to get one of these precious metal gems. And this is before the big sales that really started making things escalate. $300 to $600 is what it was going to cost me to get an out of 10. No, $600 would have cost me to get an out of 10 and out of 5 of Spider-Man 2099. And that felt really painful to use that muscle to spend that money for those, those cards. But I really wanted to have it. Like there was an understanding that they were special, right? It's even in comparison of everything else that was out there, which Masterpiece was already out there, it already dove heavily into 2022. There was still an understanding that these cards were really pretty cool. And then he tells me, hey, this 2013 is a big deal, and they're going to be going on an auction soon. We ought to cover it. And
yeah, oh my God, that was a crazy night. It's funny because that really is kind of like the linchpin, right? That is really the point in time where so much of this stuff just escalated, right? It really was a sale. It was this. I don't know how much we're allowed to say or want to say here, but it was yeah. But it was the sale. It was your stuff, and it was there, and we were talking, and we covered it because it was such a big deal, because those cards really don't surface ever.
No. One of them,
but also it's kind of like just to kind of live in the moment before it happened. Like,
yeah,
it was a big deal, I think, because you understood. I was learning that the cards don't even pop up, right? And it was this whole array of precious metal gems from 2013 and 2015. And Ian, I'll let you share which cards they were. And Fausto, was wise enough in the hobby to say, hey, this is going to be a big moment. We need to watch and see what happens here. This is going to be very interesting. And of course, collectibles were already selling pretty crazy in general, and people were flocking to their childhood, so to speak, during COVID. Yeah. But Marvel cards was on the end of that train ride, not the beginning. Holy shnikes. Here they are. That was me cussing, by the way.
That's as close as you're going to get to it. Okay.
It looks like Christmas. But yeah, they're so precious, aren't they? But we knew it was going to be a big deal, or you were helping me understand it was going to be a big deal. I had no idea how big a deal it was going to be, right? And even then, looking back, there's still a chance that they were misrepresented.
Yeah.
I mean, because it takes a lot. It takes a lot to understand what these are. And again, this is not a thing to be like, I know how people think about precious metal gems, but I don't mean think of them in that way. I think of them in a way where it was just that I knew in 2013 what was happening. And Justin and I spoke about this, and Justin also helped me understand this. There was very few sets where you had people who were not only Marvel card collectors going for them, but sports card collectors and nostalgia collectors. Like 2013 really was the set where you had multiple types of audiences picking that stuff. Because before that point, it wasn't really happening unless you were looking like at original comic book art. So sick. You know what I mean? Like, original comic book art collectors look at sketch cards like from 97 and 98, right? So those kind of sold that way. But 2013 had just all these pockets looking at this stuff and looking at it close in a very speculative kind of way. You know what I mean? Like kind of like understanding that prices of these could change how we look at Marvel cards. And they did.
Yeah.
They really did.
And that, you guys remember the first thing I said to you when I found you?
No.
I was like, are you guys talking about my cards?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. That rings a bell. That's about right. Yep.
It's so funny. I remember telling my wife later, like that night, I was like, and the owner of these cards like started watching our content because I couldn't believe it's so amazing. It's like we were actually involved in something important,
Yeah.
Really a cool moment.
It was a cool moment.
Man, you can imagine the stress I was going through when they started them off at like, it was like $100 or something. I'm like, no way. In my mind, I already knew what they were, right? Like I was hitting the gold at 100 grand. I was like, and I was freaking out. I almost pulled them. I probably should have, but it was just, the email list is very long of, hey, what's the marketing being done? Where are we? Come on, guys. Like, come on. I know what I have. I know you guys don't necessarily, because it's kind of a first time run, but come on, like, help me out here.
Well, I think I can say this now. But that was I spoke to a famous person who on the phone when this stuff was going down, and they were asking me, they were like, what like, is this good? Like, I don't know fully, but I love it. Like, can you explain it to me? And all that was happening the day prior, like having that major conversation about the piece. It was just a crazy week, honestly.
Yeah.
Fausto, you're such an important component to our hobby, and whether you want to really admit that or not, it's so true. And even going back to that event, you had such an impact on it all the way around, way more than the company that is not being named. And I mean that like in a positive, sincere way, not in some other way. Just really a big deal.
Well, you both did, and I think that they probably wouldn't have done what they've done without you guys. Honestly, doing the coverage that you did.
It was a big deal. I mean, I don't know, like, there's so many people who know more than me, and so many people who've just been nice to me, who are like been in this hobby far longer than I have, and have collected such crazy collections. And we all know those names, and they're just more quiet, or they're older, or reserved, whatever. Just nice people who've just given me perspective. You know, you really can't talk to someone who's been like really collecting Marvel cards, full sets, every card, blah, 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 for like 20 plus years or whatever years it is, like over 10, over 15, and then to tell you, yeah, I've never seen it. When you get those kind of conversations over and over again, you have to be a real idiot to be like, oh, it's not a big deal, it's hype. It's like, no, man, if you have like a group of people who really collect this stuff and they never see it, then you have to stop and be like, okay, either one person's holding it on, which Spidey and I both 100% know, because of all of our research, we figured out a lot of things. It was not just
8 out of 10.
Yeah, exactly. So that's not the case at all. And there are a lot of cards like this in all these different sets, MM16, PNGs, all these different beginnings, holograms, comic cuts. Like, there's a bunch of different sets out there, and inserts that have different pockets of people. And I think people really underestimated Marvel because they didn't care to understand it, and they didn't want to understand it. You know what I mean? But I guarantee you that Spidey's heard the story and Ian's heard the story. Someone who doesn't know about Marvel opens a box of Marvel cards and they're hooked, because it's a totally different experience than other
just
cards.
if you're telling Marvel cards.
Yeah, that's all it is.
You're all in or you're all out.
Yeah, people get into it. I've seen people do total 180s, and they're just like, nah, I'm totally into this, man. You know what I mean? Or like whatever the case may be.
So much. It's absolutely true.
It's true. They're really fun to open, and it's really cool. And it was such a cool experience to meet you after that, because I've heard about you because you showed me cards. We talked a bit, and I was like, oh, this is the guy. This is the guy who can tap, because you hear we call them black hole collectors. If you guys don't know that, who's watching this, we call them black hole collectors, because the way you discover a black hole is when there is nothing there and there's a void of something. Right, exactly. And you realize very quickly, well, because I don't.
Why do Marvel cards keep disappearing over Utah?
Exactly.
It's so weird. They cross
It's
the line to never be seen again.
A lot of collectors are like that. Yeah.
There was only, one gold, one of one Spider-Man precious metal gem that had even revealed itself. The second one had still been hidden at that point in time, and Fisher, you were it.
Yeah.
I was definitely holding. I didn't want to show anybody.
A lot of Marvel card collectors are like that, though. Still today, there's tons of cards.
It was graded, so people knew it existed.
Yeah. It was graded, so they had to have known it existed. Yeah.
Yeah, they wanted to know it was there.
Yeah, I was the second owner, so I was not. I got it from the original owner.
Mhm.
I didn't pull it. So I actually was not in the best financial situation, and what I did is I got a payday loan. Not a payday loan. It was a title loan on my car to get it.
Oh, wow.
Luckily, I owned my
Dude,
car.
hot
So I
this
was able to
car.
do it.
I
So
love
I
it.
hit the guy up. I saw it, and I'm like, hey, I need this. I've got everyone. I've got all of them except for that one. I have to have this.
Yeah.
Give it to me. Name your price.
Ian, you just gave a lesson on one-of-ones. I hate to say it.
Yeah.
And look, if it's meant for you, you know, to come back to you, if you can't pull it, you can't. I mean, if you can't do it, you can't do it, right? But you also just can't let it walk by.
No. Something like that. I knew it, and I was searching for it. I knew it existed too. I knew what I was looking for. I pulled the Cyclops gold. I did pull that one.
That's cool.
So I did pull that. Well, my wife did actually. She loves ripping boxes. I mean, I can't tell you how many cases of 13 we ripped. It was like a weekly thing. It was every single week for months on end. We broke a case.
That's awesome.
Same thing with 15s. I knew 15s were coming out. I was excited. She opened it and she didn't even know what it was. Right? I look over across the room and I see it there. I'm like, stop.
Put it down.
It's an interesting thing, but yeah. So fast forward and all this, and after the auctions, they sold for a good amount of money. It made a giant impact.
Fausto, I remember the predictions. I wasn't making a prediction in the sense that like I knew what it would sell for, but I remember the predictions. They were like 9,000, maybe 11. Like,
we kept changing them because they kept going up.
Yeah, like, maybe 14, maybe 18. I think 18 was probably the stop, and then bam,
Yeah.
28 and 36 or whatever the numbers end up being for the two big cards, right?
Yeah. Yep. The other one, the green. I like talking about the gold, which the green actually outsold the gold. That's the weirdest thing.
Fausto called it. He said.
Because the green's important. Like I still believe the green is more important than the gold one-of-one. I think, and I know people don't agree with me, and that's totally cool because it's a weird thing to say. But the green for me has more collectability because there's 10 of them, right? There's 10 people who can have that card. The one-of-one, yes, will always sell high, blah, 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 blah. But the green will always be chased. The gold people will give up, but the green will always be chased. And it is the first, and it's the color green. Like you just can't, there's too many things that line historically for that card.
There were no golds in the 96, 97.
No.
That was made up. Like, and yeah.
You tied to that. I can't say anything because I have, ownership in a gold one-of-one, so nothing.
Both of them are great. There it is.
You guys are going to make me go get my surfer and show you all up because I know you guys are Spider-Man people, but don't make me get the good stuff, okay?
Do you have a painting of yourself?
There's a painting.
That's cool.
Yeah, after the sales, I didn't know what to do, right? Because so kind of how this all started, I didn't know what to do, right? I was like, this is crazy, right? There's a lot of money, but in my mind, it wasn't what I was thinking I was going to get out of it, right? I was thinking a lot more, obviously. I was planning on this being something more for my kids' future, right? College, etc., right? House, all that kind of stuff. And when it wasn't with that, I figured out what can I do to further this even further? Like, what can I do? And Cards and Metal was born. That's how it started. I started thinking about, okay, how did I acquire these things? Well, that was through breaks. So I started doing research. I wanted to find more breaks. I have money now. I want to go buy some more. They didn't exist. That was long gone. I don't remember. The last breaks I was in was 2016. Before this, on Breakers TV, and that's when EPAC hit. So EPAC started in 2016. First set was the Jusco Masterpieces, and everybody in the breaks kind of Marvel cards anyway were like, this is the end of breaks. Everybody just moved over to EPACs. So that's kind of where I was like, I just moved over to EPACs too. I was just silently clicking that little button on 2017 Masterpiece or 27 Spider-Man over and over again.
Yeah.
But so that's where I got the idea. I was like, hey, look, no one's doing this. Let's do that. Let's rip some cards, So, and it started on Facebook. you guys remember that at all.
Oh, it did start on Facebook.
I remember.
I did not remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I never shared anything through my Facebook page, but I would go there and have to share it through the story thing because it wasn't linked at the time. So I remember being like, okay, let me share this here.
Yeah, Facebook was fun.
That's right. Because my dad was watching you on Facebook, and when you left Facebook, he was lost for a while.
That's right. Yeah.
I forget about that.
That's such a good time to think about. And we moved over to Instagram because I had the Instagram. It was like, you should go over there. There's more people. And I'm like, okay, let's check it out. So we go over to Instagram, and we did a lot of X-Men metal, didn't we?
Yeah. When you could only stream an hour at a time.
Oh, yeah.
You have to have so many followers before you can do, past an hour.
It was always the time everybody's, hey, 55 minutes. We're in the middle of a break.
You had timekeepers. They were calling it. All right, everybody jump back on.
Yeah, that was such a great time. We were ripping cases a night too.
It was so bad that we would be ripping with you and ripping EPAC at the same time.
Yeah. Some of you guys were waking up. Well, you weren't even waking up. You're just going outside the door and like, oh wait, it's sun. The sun's out.
I literally ripped all night with you one night.
Yeah.
You guys are beasts.
We had
watch the sun come up.
Yeah. So that's how Cards of Metal. I mean, it made sense to me because I've been like a musician, heavy metal my whole life. The metal cards, the PMGs, and the logo obviously is a play off of 95 Metal logo.
Yeah. With the spider web in the background.
Yep. And that was created before Spider-Man Metal. I think that was even before I knew Spider-Man Metal was even coming out.
Oh yeah, Spider-Man Metal was announced summer of 2021. Yep. So you had already been Cards of Metal before then. Yeah,
so it worked. I was pissed. I was like, man, Spider-Man Metal after X-Men Metal, because I like Spider-Man more, right? And I'm like, you guys done me dirty.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and then we had so much fun. I mean, Instagram, we did, you remember if we did the case break of 2020 masterpieces, and we had Dave come on. He was hanging out with us.
I do remember that. I do. Yep. I remember me and Billy going after it.
Yep.
Back and forth.
Oh, wow.
Yep. We had battles. On Billy's birthday, we had a 3-box battle. Who could middle.
And you pulled a wagon cut.
Oh, the wagon cut, man. There's people looking for that. I can't believe how famous that is. And, it's the worst card ever. It's the worst card ever.
So bad it became good. You know how
it's crazy.
And once the dog gets so ugly, it's kind of cute.
Yeah. That's a stupid card. But everybody's like, you should go over to Whatnot. I'm like, what's Whatnot? And they're like, oh, dude, it's gonna change everything, right? And I'm like, okay, well, let's check that out. They're like, it's like a 6-month waiting list. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, 6 months? What? And there was no Marvel cards on there. I mean, I'm sure there was probably somebody who's done them before, like the sports breakers, but there was no like actual Marvel card breakers. I mean, anywhere at that point, I believe. I don't think anybody was doing them other than me. And then I applied. And I got approved like 2 days later.
Yeah.
I'm freaking out, man. I'm like, I don't even know what this is. I just clicked the link and signed up, and now I've got to do a stream within a certain amount of time and all this. I'm like, what's going on? So I figured it out.
You sure did.
Yeah, you did.
3 times a week.
Well.
Yeah. There for a minute on the 22 masterpieces, we were doing them every day.
Yeah.
But now there's so many people on there. I had to kind of figure out my niche, right? Like we did singles nights. I did some reboxings. Did you guys see that? Like I did 2017 masterpieces or 2017 Spider-Man.
I would love to see 2017 masterpieces. I've never seen that before.
27 masterpieces. That's a great set. Shh, nobody knows about those.
No, that's a real secret.
Yeah, I bought a bunch of cards, put them all together. I had a bunch already, so I kind of made it like I took all the odds, right, of the exact packs.
Yeah.
And I put them in there. So that was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun time. But yeah, then it kind of evolved to what it is, and now everybody's on there. like I said, the diversity. There's a lot of great breakers on there. A lot of great people. There's probably a lot in the stream right now. A lot of cool people that I've met on there. I love it.
Yeah.
So in fact, one of them on my last breaks hit this Rogue Purple.
Ooh.
Right here.
Ooh, that's gorgeous.
Yeah,
That's a
such
good
a great card, right? 52 of 199.
Yeah.
And you guys might know him, Joe Pete.
Oh yeah, Joe Pete.
Joe Pete.
Good job,
Yeah.
Joe.
Good old Joe Pete. So the reason I'm bringing that up is because he actually gave this to me to give it away during this.
Oh, good job, Joe.
Yep. So what we're going to do is we're going to give it away right now.
Oh, perfect.
I like Rogue.
So yep, hashtag Rogue is what it's going to be. So if you guys
do that.
hashtag Rogue,
Boom, I'm in.
there you go.
Oof. All right.
Sheesh. Yeah, that's right. Here we go. That one entry is me. You can go ahead and draw.
Just hit it right now.
It's like I'm ready.
Right?
Yeah. So we have a little additional one, of course. I'll do the green. We'll be doing the green here in a little bit. I've got everybody loaded in there. We'll talk about that.
If you're watching on the Spidey Hiss channel, I would strongly encourage you to search Cards of Metal and go on the Cards of Metal channel and watch from there and subscribe while you're there and do hashtag Rogue there.
Thank you. And it's you have to do Cards of Metal 6195, I guess.
Well, they can probably do the YouTube search. It might come up, but
yeah, for some reason
to your point, that's good to let them know.
So 32 so far. We got 70 of you guys on here. I appreciate you. I mean, for my first attempt at this whole YouTube thing.
Well, you're great on camera. You know your stuff when it comes to Marvel cards. You have a great voice, but you care about people too. Like you want to see them taken care of, and I think that is the content, right?
And your channel too has a lot.
Oh well, thank you, man.
and of course Fausto too.
Yeah, Fausto for sure.
But yeah, yes, I'm not doing this just because I want these guys followers, and I'm doing this because you guys play such an important role in my collecting, right? An important role in Marvel cards. Period. You guys are.
He is like that night when you jumped on and we were covering the sale of your amazing cards. That's when I knew the channel was really a part of the hobby. Like it wasn't just me and this thing I was doing here over on the side that I was enjoying, but like it was actually a part of the community. And it was a big moment for me.
That's awesome. Same. I mean, changed my life.
Yeah,
it literally did. I wouldn't be here without that. I don't know.
Well, that's really pretty special to be a part of it, and then to see what you've done with it. Like you in a lot of ways, you've like reinvested it back into the hobby.
Yeah. Well, and that's really where the consignments comes from, is knowing that those cards, knowing what they are now. I mean, that gold Spider-Man, it's gone. It's disappeared.
I can tell you that not only is it gone, like extraordinary amounts of money have not brought it out into the light.
Yeah.
But it's been offered. Yeah.
Yeah. I have an idea where the country, I don't think it's in the U.S. is what I've heard.
Yeah, I don't think it's in the U.S. either.
Yeah, so.
I don't know where it's at. Let me go and just tell you. So if you're
I have no idea.
I know where, I don't know where it's at.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure that you guys, all you Marvel collectors, you have a way to be represented in the right way.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Cards of Metal Consignments has to offer, is somebody who knows, been there. I mean, honestly, I'm not just saying this, but I don't know if there is, there's very few people that have opened more Marvel cards than myself. I've opened more. I've been around, so trying to sell myself. I'm just wondering taken care of. What's that?
Can you put Randall's comment up?
Where's Randall at?
Over here, it says Alpha doesn't own it.
Oh, there we go. Right here.
Yeah, and the answer is Alpha does not own the 2015 gold 1/1 Spider-Man. They co-own the 1/1 from 2017 with me.
There we go. Yeah. And my green, I believe Stevie Aoki still owns it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's got it up on eBay for like $800,000, but yeah, he still owns it.
Yep, that's my green.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, and your YouTube is virtually the same, right?
Yep, it's all the same. Yep, I try to keep everything exactly the same, make it easy for everybody. So yeah, so I'll run this here in a second. But yeah, guys, that's why I'm really doing all this stuff. Is I do care for you. I know what it feels like to not feel like you're represented in the right way. And I'll make sure your cards are taken care of. Collectibles too, I'll do that. But that's why I think it's kind of the next natural step in what I'm trying to do, just to bring it back to everybody.
I am putting your YouTube in the comments so people can see it.
And we'll give this another minute here. And
Manu. Hashtag Rogue Manu. He's in the.
Oh, is he? There we go. Oh, there's the Wolverine Gold. I don't know. I clicked the wrong one popped up.
Yeah.
Manu, what up, dude?
I've never seen the 1/1 Gold from 2015. Have you?
No, I have not either.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of them.
Yeah, I've seen Hulk, Deadpool, seen Venom.
Storm.
I'm thinking of the big players, not, we've seen a lot of the smaller characters too. I'm just thinking of the biggest ones.
I've seen Daredevil, Storm, same ones you mentioned. I pulled the Cyclops. I know that one's there.
Yeah, I've never seen the Wolverine.
Tony, what up?
All right, man, you ready to run it?
Let's run it. Should we do it? You guys ready?
Yeah. Good luck, everybody.
All right. Good luck, everybody. And then, of course, just get a hold of me if you win. In 3, 2, 1.
Who's it going to be? It's always rough when you see your name go by. What?
Armando!
D06, Armando, yes.
Armando. Congrats, dude.
Oh, look at Manu. Manu knows how to do it. He's in both chats. He's in the Cards and Metal chat and the Spidey His chat. Don't forget about Fausto. You got to do all three.
That's what's
Sketch
up.
Card Hive.
Well, nice. Well, yeah, guys. I just want to thank you guys for joining me on this thing. Any questions? I wanted to open up to questions and answers, really, for people, because I covered quite a bit and a lot of history on what I'm doing, why we're doing it. I think there's a lot to still be said. Oh, Joe Pete, there we go.
Yep.
There's the giveaway owner. There he is. Thank you, Joe Pete. Appreciate you, man. Awesome. But yeah, guys, should we run this as well?
I think that's what the people.
I think that's the way to do it.
Work for. Yeah.
Let's do it. All right. So let me see here. What I tried to do for a lot of these guys, because I dropped the ball. I'm gonna be honest. Doing a lot of things with the emails and whatnot. I wasn't able to collect everybody's real names with their Instagram names. So I try to convert them all over. Some of you might have your real names on this. I try to get everybody else's names. So forgive me if you didn't want your real name on there, but it's the best way I could have done it.
Tell you what, if you say Justin Underwood, I will gladly take. Don't turn it down.
All right, here we go. So here's what I'm going to do. I always do this on my Whatnot show. Obviously, I'm not going to pull the screen off and do some dice. So I'm going to do this. We're going to roll the dice. I always do 3 dice. We're going to do the same thing here. Okay, this is how many times I'm going to randomize the list. I put the list in there just in order of who signed up for the entry, put in for it. All right.
Math.
There it is. 12 times. Okay, so let's bring that up. We're going to put you on the wheel. All right, guys, you're all in here. So let's give it a shuffle 12 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12.
All right.
All right, guys. Good luck, everybody. Green
Who's it gonna
PMG
be?
giveaway.
Good luck.
Good luck, everybody.
Who is it?
Oh no way. Oh,
Oh, so
it
close.
just skipped him,
Just
but hey,
missed it
great
easy.
guy. Stacking 9 NM too.
That's
Stacking.
hilarious.
There you go. There you go. Congrats.
Golf clap.
Nice stacking. You can get a hold of me on Instagram, you know.
So Ian, so I think I've opened, if I tallied all of the X-Men metal, all of the Spider-Man metal, I went heavy on X-Men metal on E-Pack, not Spider-Man metal, but I probably opened, I mean, it's got to be 100 plus boxes.
Oh, easily.
And I think I pulled 2 green PMGs.
Out of
I pulled a
X-Men.
Magneto, I pulled a Dakin, and that was it.
That's it?
Oh wait, I pulled Magneto twice, so that's 3.
Yeah.
Remember, I pulled
That's
one physical and one. Sorry, I did double up on Magneto. Yeah,
Out of all of that stuff?
out of all, no 0 in Spider-Man metal, not a single green PMG.
I've pulled 2 in Spider-Man metal.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I pulled like 12 greens in X-Men metal.
Yep. I put a lot into the universe for Spider-Man metal. Didn't get.
I'm feeling bad here because I know you, I mean, half of what I ripped is probably you ripping it through me.
Yep. That's for sure. That's all right.
Man.
I enjoyed every minute of it.
Yeah. So, well, there's lots to come. I think there's a lot Marvel has to grow. Marvel cards. I think it's just the beginning because I mean, really, a lot's happened the last couple of years, but it's only been a couple of years. I know it feels like forever.
Yeah, but it's more like a. It kind of had to go through this like, what am I going to be, and then get pruned a bit. If you've ever done kind of horticulture gardening, like if something grows too much and it has like overgrowth, you've got to prune it back a lot to get back to like the real fruitful growth, and that's what's had to happen. It's like it's got to figure itself out a little bit. It's got to cut back and then grows a little bit better, a little bit stronger, and produces better results.
I absolutely agree. Yeah. There's definitely a correction, which is nice for everybody, right? I mean, things are actually within reach now. I mean, there's a time where I'm like, even myself, I'm like, there's no way I'm not. And there's other things I bought that I shouldn't have bought, and I'm like, man, they're selling for about half of what they paid for them now, but
right,
which is good.
All right, Perna says, Ian, did you ever work as a radio DJ? I will say that of all the music I would have predicted we would listen to tonight for Cards and Metal and heavy metal music, this soft, relaxing.
I dig it. Yeah.
It's not what I expected. I was like, I'm going to be headbanging tonight, Like,
Yeah, that's what you can expect from the Whatnot show. That is absolutely true. I play some of the heaviest stuff I can on there. Well, not too crazy, but it's my own personal list. So, which I put all my links down below too. So, like, if any of you guys are looking to sell some stuff, I've got a lot of ideas where, we'll be doing things more like either set specific, or if they're going to be character specific. I think that's the best way to really lump everything together to get a hold of the right buyers. Right. So, I always have a link available where you guys can get on my schedule, and we can sit down, we can talk, we can do comps, we can figure out exactly what your stuff's worth. My Whatnot show's down there too. My Instagram, I think, put everything down there. Hey, hit me up, guys. I'm open to talk to anybody. I'd love to get to know you guys.
Ian is a great guy to know. He's been here forever, and he knows this market. And I trust him. He knows to any Iceman card, Silver Surfer card he finds.
I know exactly where I'm going.
Exactly. No, I think you're great, man. And I'm so happy to be here and like talk to you about this stuff. And I'm excited that you're doing this because, I think it's a shame that people are not understanding to take the time to the history of Marvel cards because it is so radically different than anything else. And it's really important that we as a community kind of stick together, understand that there are people to go to look for this information. You know what I mean? And it's going to start pouring onto the websites. People are going to start making more information. It'll get out there. But I think it's good that we spread the word and kind of let people know who are people to talk to and who who's been around for a hot minute. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
I love it. I get asked all the time, hey, like, do you know anybody that might want this card? You know, like, to have someone who's doing consigning, who knows who all the collectors of the characters are and knows what home would be best suited for that card is so much better than just randomly hoping that person somehow finds it on the 7-day auction, you know?
Yeah. Well, and that's really why I said, like, when you had to sign up for the entry, put your characters in there, which you can still enter you can still do that. I mean, my newsletter link's down there too, because you get newsletter. That way I know what you guys are looking for, which I'm not going to tell everybody. I know that there's that fear. I don't want people knowing what I'm looking for, right? Because then you think somebody's going to gouge you. You
could do a misdirection like Fausto and be like, I'm Sketch Card Hive. I love sketch cards, really as surfers. But you're muted.
He's muted.
Smoke and mirrors, man. Smoke and mirrors.
Yeah. Yeah, like I don't really collect Spidey. No.
What are you talking about? No.
We'll make sure everybody needs to be taken care of on this kind of stuff. I mean, it's both ways, right?
Yeah. Totally.
Selling your stuff and at the same time not feeling like you're just being taken advantage because you're a target, right? I think we've all felt that before. It's just part of how it goes. So if we can kind of mitigate that, we can make sure that everybody is happy in the hobby, good communication. So what I'm saying is I'm not going to let everybody else know out there what you guys are collecting. So like when you sign up for my newsletter and tell me your PC, I'm not going to say, oh, well, Fausto's looking for so-and-so. He's a spot collector.
Yeah.
I
really like that. Like I'm processing this for me personally as we're sitting here, and because I'm so visible on YouTube primarily, like if I put something out there, like it's got like people can attach something to it that feels unsafe for me, or if I give someone a price in a DM, they may think a way about it, right? Or or try to use that in a way that would hurt me because I'm so visible in the hobby. But if I can send a card to you, like I'm safe because you're quote like brokering it, like you're handling it. It's not like me doing it, and I really like that. And as cards get bigger, I'm not saying that they are, but as they get bigger and the numbers get bigger, like it really helps. See, bud. But
appreciate you, man.
So I really like that.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you guys being here. I know Fausto had to bail. Which I appreciate him hanging on as long as he did. He seems like I got to get out of here. Yeah. But yeah, this has been awesome. It's come full circle. I feel blessed to be here. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, reminiscing about the old days, kind of giving a lot of people insight. I think there's a lot of people that didn't know the background of this. I know there haven't been because I would mention something on my whatnot and they're like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, well, just hang on. I'm gonna get it out there one day and continue to get it out there, I believe. So
and look, I'll do the work. I'll go find the old video that me and Fausto did that night, and I'll link it in mine. I'll send it to you so you can link it in your video as well. People want to go back and watch that night unfold that you're talking about when those cards sold and changed, the direction of your life.
Yeah. It changed Marvel cards, I think. I hope
it did.
So.
It is. It's in the history books of Marvel cards. It's already written. There's no doubt. And I tell you what, I'm really excited about you being more active on YouTube. I know you've popped on a few times, but like having a channel, creating content, it makes me believe that you're going to be popping up on some of our lives more often. I'm really hopeful for that.
Absolutely.
And, in fact, you're going to do it between now and Christmas on the Spidey His channel, right?
Yeah, I'm going to do some masterpieces, 22.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So we'll have Ian on the 12 Breaks of Christmas where we're raising awareness and getting bone marrow donors for Nora K. Meredith to hopefully find her a hero in a match.
Yeah. And if you guys have not got your kits, it's simple. I mean, it doesn't take very long. I mean, it's just a couple of minutes. You just go on there, just fill out some information. They're not intrusive either. It's not anything crazy.
No, it's just a swap. For free. Yeah. And I'll give this bit of information real quick, but it'll be more, you'll get more details as we move forward. But if you just text this number, 61474, you text fight for Nora K to 61474 to get a swab kit and I'll show you how to, when we start the 12 breaks, I'll show you how to enter for the giveaway for the Joe Jusko Spider-Man commission. For those who get a kit and get registered.
They should. Yeah. Let's hopefully find somebody. Wouldn't that be awesome? I mean, if there's somebody here.
I would be just, the Lord could just take me to heaven right then. I'd be done like with life. Like to think that we pulled that off would just be a joy.
Yeah.
I would love to be a part of that.
Yeah, it was so fun. Yeah, that would be awesome. And because I know you mentioned that her siblings are matches for each other, right?
They're perfect matches for each other, but not her.
Oh man.
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah.
Only 30 to 40 people in the entire world have this cancer. It's insane.
So rare.
Yep.
Well, hopefully we can do it. We can pull together. We can do that.
And find a match maybe for somebody else. You know?
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully Nora K, but maybe someone else. Izzy just got his kit. Good job, bud. That's
nice,
awesome.
Izzy. There we go.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, thanks. I appreciate it too, Josh.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, by the way. It is Josh's birthday. So
oh wow, happy birthday, Josh. Thank you. I'm glad I'm not late on that. Didn't realize that was today.
Yep. Well, good deal. Well, Justin, dude, I really appreciate it, man. I do. I appreciate you being here, bringing all your followers on here.
I'm serious, guys. It really makes a difference if you'll take the time to subscribe. I promise you will not regret it. I promise. Ian's a wonderful guy, great collector, great knowledge, and he's great on camera too, so it'll be fun.
Well, I try to be. My first time. I hope I did okay for you guys.
Dude, you rocked it.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys, everybody. If I don't talk to you soon, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, follow Spidey Hits if you don't, which I don't know why you wouldn't. If you're on here, you better be.
I would love it if you did. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. You should be following him, and we'll be doing some breaks. 12 days of breaks.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a great event for a great cause. And of course, we don't need an excuse to open Marvel cards. We're going to do it anyways, but to be able to do it for a cause as well just makes it even better.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, guys. Everybody, thank you for joining. This has been a special night. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Fausto. Even though he's not here, appreciate you guys. It's been fun. I know we're going to do a lot more and do a lot of big things with Marvel cards. So,
yeah. Thanks, everybody.
You want to give us a special Spidey sign off?
I will. Everybody, thank you for watching. And as always, I hope you have a marvelous metal day.
Yes. Thank you. See you guys. Have a good night.
Peace.